What is up, guys? Hope you're all having a lovely Saturday afternoon weekend. We're going to be going over some player props here. We got our good friend Jesse with us today. Jesse, how are we doing?
We're doing good, man. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah, we
You
got
getting your
trick
trick
or
or treating
treating
in?
today. Yeah, we got trick or treating today, so I'm excited about that. Beautiful fall day, some good college football on hopefully today as well. But we got the props for you guys. We have 10 props that we feel pretty good about. I'm going to open them up on the screen here, and we're going to kind of just go over each one, give you guys a little couple thoughts here, and hopefully we can make some money this weekend. Our first bet on the list. Why is AJ Brown scoring a touchdown this weekend?
Yeah, this is the Eagles storm, man. I think we get, Eagles is an NFC contender. This is kind of a big matchup of the week type game against the Bengals. Bengals haven't given up a lot of receiver touchdowns. It's true, but if you look at their yards and receptions allowed, they are fruitful through the air, and I think this is just a really good game environment.
AJ Brown also a touchdown in all three games he's played. He's been over 89 yards, 116 yards, and 119 yards. Like he's playing elite football right now, and we do expect some back and forth with Cincinnati. The Eagles' defense is not great secondary, so we do like Joe Burrow and the Chase and the Higgins. We got to watch Higgins' availability, but I think this is going to be a fun ping pong game back and forth, and hopefully lights up the scoreboard. So we're in on an AJ Brown touchdown. What else we got? Number two, is it Travis Kelsey's first touchdown? So we have to tell you guys it's National Tight End Day this Sunday, Week 8. So we wanted to kind of lay in a little bit of a tight end prop here. Travis Kelsey hasn't scored a touchdown all year. How does he help us this weekend, Jesse?
Yeah, I mean this is it for him, right? Like, come on, we're halfway through the season. He's starting. We're seeing him obviously since Rashi Rice went down. We've seen the targets are increasing. He's getting more involved. Last week, you if you watched last week, they made some effort to try and get him in the end zone, doing their little trickery,
Yep.
tomfoolery. It didn't work out. But that being said, this is Travis Kelsey. This is his week, National Tight End Week. Hopkins comes over, so might just see a little bit less pressure on him overall. If you look at his stats against the Raiders and really just against his division as a whole, he eats them up. So this is his time.
Yeah, I just wanted to look last year. 6 for 91 against the Raiders, 5 for 44. He didn't score a touchdown against the Raiders last year. But I mean, we're 6 games into the Chiefs season here, and we don't have a Kelsey touchdown. I think that's he might get 2 this week on National Tight End Day. So we like Kelsey to score. CD Lamb, number 3, plus 110. I don't think we've seen plus odds for a CD touchdown all year. This one feels really good out of the bye. CD Lamb scoring a touchdown.
Yeah,
See,
absolutely. I mean, Mike McCarthy off 5 weeks. He's 12-5. He's 3-1 since he's been with the Cowboys. This is it. This is a spotlight for Dallas. They know that they need to figure it out. They've had the extra week of prep. CD, you can tell he's frustrated. Him and Dak just haven't maybe connected like they typically have in years past. So it's squeaky wheel CD Lamb week.
Yeah, and he hasn't scored since week 4, coming off a bye. And I had the Dak CD stack last year, and it took them about 6 weeks to figure it out and for CD to be the offense. And I think we start to see that this weekend. He might get 2 touchdowns. Like we haven't had that slob CD Lamb 30-40 point fantasy game yet. I also wanted to note Dak Prescott's passing touchdowns at 1.5 over. I think it was like plus 125. So I think the 49ers Cowboys game sounds kind of fun on Sunday Night Football. So we got CD Lamb plus 110 touchdown, and then break it down, Jesse. The fellowship double up, DJ Moore and Keenan Allen anytime touchdowns.
So the double up, we're putting our trust in the rookie this week. It's a good matchup at Washington. Washington Commanders have allowed 10 touchdowns to receivers on the year. They played better in the last couple of weeks, but don't let that fool you. This secondary, this defense is still not great overall. We would have really loved to get the number 1 versus number 2 overall pick here. I guess outside chance there is. I think it's all just kind of smoke screen. I don't think Jaden plays. I think Caleb coming off a bye, he's feeling good. He's gotten some good matchups under his belt. This is another one where I think he can take advantage of it and get his boys' touchdowns.
And we're kind of piggybacking off of this one with Caleb Williams over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I don't understand why it's plus 100. I think the Bears are good for 3, if not 4 touchdowns against the Commanders in this one. And, DJ Moore scores, you're gonna if only DJ Moore scores and you put a $20 unit on, you get a $58 payout. So you're up about $18. And then if Keenan Allen scores but not DJ Moore, you're getting a $59 payout. So up about $18 or $19 if only one of these guys scores. Now, if both scores, that's why we do this, because there's a good chance you're gonna have almost $117 there just on two $20 bets. So this is the classic Mike Evans, Chris Godwin bet. One of these guys will score. There's a good chance both.
Too soon, Kyle. It's too soon.
Yeah, I know. We're subbing that in for DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. This might be something that stays weekly here. And I don't know, just off a bye, a healthier Keenan Allen, like even Cole Kmet's a part of this with the Caleb Williams over touchdowns. They're just, the offense is like clicking right now, and they get a good matchup here. David Montgomery, minus 125. He did not have the best game last week. He got hurt a little bit. We like him at home, though, against Tennessee. What do you think here?
Yeah, obviously no Jameson Williams, so that kind of hurts the passing game a tick down. We'll see what Tim Patrick can do as a wide receiver, too. We know we like Tim Patrick as a sleeper from the glory days, but this is just a smash mouth game. This is at home for Detroit. They're playing a banged up, wounded Tennessee Titans who just traded Hopkins. Calvin Ridley is not healthy. What's this offense going to look like? Maybe Tajay Spears plays, maybe he doesn't. But this is one of those games that you just feel like Detroit's going to come in and handle their business, and they're going to do that through David Montgomery, just kind of running it down their throats.
And last I looked, I think the Lions were minus 11 to win this game. We're looking at a double-digit win at home for the Lions. I would assume David Montgomery is going to eat in this one. Number 7, the amazing rookie for the Jaguars, Brian Thomas Jr., over 4.5 receptions is minus 110. I think the pace of the Packers-Jags could be a lot of fun. We expect the Packers to be able to move the ball and put up points, which could lead the Jags offense to have to throw the ball and loosen it up through the air. Do you have any stats for us on Brian Thomas Jr.?
Yeah, I mean, Brian Thomas, you're the Brian Thomas man, but if you look at his, what he's been doing when he's been getting the 5, the 6, the 5, the catches are there. This is a game. I think we like the pace. I think we like the game environment. So when you're looking at over-unders on the situation here, you're liking Brian Thomas to hit his over. I mean, Jair, we know Jair's good, but maybe he doesn't follow him around the entire game. And regardless if he does, I mean, we saw him last week against New England, right?
Yeah.
Christian Gonzalez. He got shown. He got given the business.
And we got the Thomas numbers up here. He's had 5 receptions in 4 of the last 5 games. I also, if you don't like his receptions, I think his yards were like 56.5 or something, and he's been over that 3 of the last 4 games. And again, 3 touchdowns in the last 4 games. Like everything is moving in the positive direction here for Brian Thomas Jr., and he's emerging right now. And again, if the Packers are playing good offensively, they're going to have to open it up in the passing game. We got more National Tight End Day news for you. David Njoku, over 57.5 receiving yards. Jesse, how does Njoku do for us this weekend?
Yeah, this is, you got to throw some tight end bets today. It's going to happen. We're going to see those obscure ones, but we're also going to see the studs hit. When you look at Baltimore, they are just notoriously bad against tight ends. Most receptions, most yards, no touchdowns. So if you want to be sneaky, hit that plus 230 David Njoku touchdown this week. Because some regression is due. Regardless, I think he just eats 57.5. He is their number 1 receiver right now, and he just looks like a beast. I mean, there's been trade rumors, XYZ. He's just going to keep on eating. We can talk about Jameis Winston. He's just going to be chucking the ball all day. Because, I mean, what do we think? The Ravens win this one by 2, 2.5, 3 scores? Like
10 to 14, something like that, or 10 to 14 points for a win sounds good. There could be some garbage. Jameis Winston garbage time's always in play. So it could be tighter. It could look, better than it actually was. But Njoku, 10 receptions last week for 76 and a touchdown. He is going to be the offense going forward. So we like Njoku quite a bit. And then, so we kind of struggled with these last 2. Devontae Adams, anytime touchdown, plus 100. It's against New England. It's in New England. But they didn't have a great rollout last week. And I think the urgency is going to be there. I saw Devontae Adams kind of being vocal and taking like a leadership role already with this team. The Jets can't mess around anymore. They're 2-5. They need to get this offense going. Devontae Adams, anytime touchdown, anything to add there?
Yeah, no, I mean, we know the Rodgers Adams connection is there. We know that, week 1, Rodgers is trying to force it. So, week 2, it's going to be just another week of Adams being in that offense. On paper, skill players are really good there. You can't really highlight or focus in on any one guy, but we know when it comes down to the red zone, we know where Rodgers is going to be looking when they're passing the ball. It's going to be Davante Adams.
So we feel really good about Davante. And then our final one here is we kind of struggled. We really wanted to pick on the Carolina Panthers. They're getting the Broncos. It's in Denver. For a little bit there, we had Javonte Williams rushing yards on the list, but we switched it to a Bo Nix over 31.5 rushing yards. It's minus 120. Jesse, tell us the Bo Nix numbers from recent weeks.
Yeah, just look on the season. He's got 255 rushing yards, so he's averaging right around 36 per game. And just in the last 2 weeks alone, I think he's accumulated over 130 of those. So he's getting comfortable. He's starting to see the field a little bit better. And he knows that, hey, my guys aren't open. I can take off. I can do this. I have the wheels. That's an effortless 136 in the last 2. Against Chargers, a pretty decent defense. New Orleans, they've been banged up. And now he gets Carolina. So, the story should be similar to last week and how this goes. And so if he gets half that 75, we're walking away with a win on that one.
So I think what's interesting is this is a part of the Broncos' identity now. Bo Nix rushing, that is an asset that they want to continue to lean on. He's getting a ton of rushing attempts here, whether it's a scramble or a called rush. But I think, the fantasy points are flowing. The Broncos are winning games right now. They're getting Carolina at home. We're going to see a Bo Nix game.
Yeah,
maybe even Williams.
I'm getting a lot of Daniel Jones before he got paid vibes.
Sure.
That season where he was fantasy quarterback number 6 or 7 on the year. And he wasn't really a great passer, but man, he was just every week he was running for 50, 60 yards. And that's just kind of how it feels here.
I have been liking some of his passing weapons. I think Troy Franklin's a sneaky one if you guys want to do some disgusting things.
Shower narrative.
So we just want to again highlight National Tight End Day. We think there's a ton of tight ends that could score, whether it's George Kittle against Dallas, it's plus 135. I believe we already covered the Travis Kelce touchdown. Cade Otton, if you're feeling a little crazy. Otherwise, it was down here. Mark Andrews plus 185 against the Browns. You also have Brock Bowers, Cole Kmet, David Njoku. These guys are all plus 200. Trey McBride hasn't caught a touchdown all year. Sam Laporta with no Jameson Williams. Take some tight ends. Even Hunter Henry down here intrigues us a little bit. And then I did put Taysom Hill on the list, but Taysom Hill is playing. He is playing. So there's always a chance for that. Anything else to add for the good people here, Jesse?
Yeah, just enjoy these random tight ends that score this week. We have a full slate. There's no bye week, so we get a little bit of extra football this week. Big week 8 slate. Should be good for DFS. Should be good for hopefully our prop bets and your bank accounts.
All right, you get one guess. Who is the most obscure person to score a touchdown this weekend?
Oh, man, who's the most obscure? What's funny? The name in my head. There's a name in my head that just was sticking there. It's Lucas Kroll touchdown.
Because we were looking, the Panthers have given up. They're tied for the most with 4 touchdowns given. So a Broncos tight end touchdown is definitely in play. Lucas Kroll, I think there's a couple others. They use 4 tight ends, so it could be pretty nice.
It's gonna be the most random one. Who do you got?
I got Ben Sims for the Packers.
Wow.
Backup tight end. He gets 1 or 2 catches per game. Flip him one of those little screens in the red zone and the Jags aren't looking for him. Something like that could happen. We're going to probably see 4 or 5 obscure tight ends score this weekend. It'll be Elijah Higgins. It'll be Austin Hooper. It'll be all these backup dirty tight ends. It'll be, kind of fun to watch. Probably Eric All scores against, for the Bengals. He's due for his first career touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to do it for us, though. Happy Halloween, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for hanging out with us, Jesse. And we will see you guys. I'm going live tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. If you guys want to hang out and get any of your questions asked, we'll go over actives and hang out for a little bit. So we'll see you tomorrow morning. Enjoy the games. Have a good Sunday. We'll see you guys later. Peace.
Adios.
Got me feeling icy.